Hey gang, D Tidwell, Enduro mountain bike training. Hope you're doing well. Here today to talk about a continuation of the series from our first two videos about talking about mobility, stability, and then we went into last time into muscle growth and development, and today, which is kind of the third part, and that's kind of 3D integration. Where we're looking at creating, helping the body, teach the body, I should say, how to properly stabilize one segment while another is moving. Just like we would say in a good downhill position, we're in a good hip hinge position, but we've got this good kind of row motion going on as it relates to downhilling, where we're relying on the stability and force application of our legs while our upper body is actually going through all of this movement, reacting to the terrain that we're going down. So choosing exercises, I've got 4 of them for you today, that help teach that so it becomes innate or subconscious, so you don't even have to think about it. Preparing those systems is what we're always all about. Preparing the body to achieve the next level of performance so that when you go out come beginning of summertime and either race and or ride or and work on your skills or whatever it is, your body is on its unconscious, subconscious, just kind of go mode, enjoying the process instead of having this overthinking that's going on because you're trying to think about, oh, I need to do this, this, and this, where you've spent the winter, the off season, actually training in the gym to make all of that congruent or become synergistic in nature, okay? So some of these exercises can either use a cable or a band. I'm going to be using a BOSU ball, and then also any kind of step or bench or chair or bed, whatever it is you need to use. So the first one I'm going to show you here is a single leg squat using either a bench or a ball, a Swiss ball. So I'll just show you with the bench so that you can start with that, because it's a little tricky to start. So it's just really leg up, my foot and knee and foot are all in alignment with my pelvis, so I'm not rotated, I'm not out here, I can't see that going on, everything's straight. And from there, chest is up, squeezing down and back with the shoulder blades, and I'm squatting, making sure that this knee goes over the second toe, coming back up, getting that good hip extension through the glute, back down slowly, and back up. Lateral approach on the toes. Get out far enough so that you're in this good, comfortable kind of overall squat. Like if I took my leg back and go here, I'm in a good squat pattern, right? Whereas if I'm too close, now I'm in this kind of position and I'm doing that in my squat. Okay, so find the right position. I'm going to switch legs. Distance-wise out in front, so that when you come down, it's nice and comfortable. Now, pardon going stage right. And also use a Swiss ball to take this to another level, doing the exact same thing, except now we have a moving, unstable object. So you get good at that first, then we go into unstable object. Nice, good, perfect form. So what's happening here, now we have source of instability. We talked about that 3D integration. My upper body's still through my pelvis and my hip. My right leg's trying to manage both my itself and its attachment to the ground from my hip up to the rest of the system, as well as my left leg having to control what's going on here, right? Because what you're not seeing is this. So I'm here and it's not moving very much, but you'll see and experience all kinds of crazy stuff going on, which means you're just not ready to do it yet. So work your way up from the bench to the unstable object in the ball, okay? That's exercise number 1. Do 8 to 15 reps depending on where you're at. Go next, exercise number 2, which is a back lunge with a knee drive and a cable chop. So now we have kind of a stable platform to start. We've got a cable or a band that's horizontal. My outside arm is grabbed on. I go right on top. I have a good kind of lunge pattern. Same rules apply with tracking and pelvis position. And I'm going to come up. I'm going to stand up, grab my knee, and chop. All at the same time. So here's where integration or synergy comes into play, where I'm trying to make this end at the same time, end at the same time, not, not choppy. We want to synergize. So the nervous system learns how to process all of it at the same time. This inside foot is the foot forward, okay? You would repeat the same thing on the other side. Now, I'm going to show you this because I have a little bit of weakness on my left compared to my right. So I lunge, I come up, and I chop. So I'm a little wobblier on this left side. As you can tell, I'm wobblier on that side. Excuse me, because I've had 2 knee surgeries over here. So I really have to work at my hip level down to my knee to stabilize, and from my ankle and foot level up to keep it stable as well. So there's a lot of conscious work and effort that I have to put into working on that side more than my right because of my compromises of my 2 surgeries, okay? 6 to 12 reps on that, each side. Then we move into exercise number 3, which is a BOSU push-up with sliders. So sliders are just good old-fashioned furniture movers, and the old good BOSU. Now hopefully you can see this. Yep. Take your sliders. Tippy toes on the middle of the sliders, and we're going to do a push-up. Yep. So I go from a good posture position here with my spine. I'm not overarchy, I'm not droopy, I'm not too high, I'm not rounded back, I'm flat. I do a push-up, and then I go double knee drive. Push-up, double knee drive. Notice that my weight is further over my arms. This is the harder way to do it. Okay, but definitely start where you're over your arms. Push-up, neutral spine. It's okay to round your back here. This is no different than being here. You have to be able to round your lower spine. That's fine, okay? Now, on that one, I say do max number of reps minus 2. So minus 2 means you're going to stop 2 reps before your form starts to get ugly, okay? So, and typically that's a good general rule for training to apply that across the board, okay? So you do as many as you can with perfect form, all right? And then the last one, we go into a downhill position L, okay? So a standing L is Scarecrow. Scarecrow gets arrested. Back to Scarecrow and down. But now we're going to do it in DH position, which makes it harder because now I'm almost parallel with the floor. Really huge hip hinge. Lots of good knee, dorsiflexion of the ankle. Same thing other side. Now I'm going to go Scarecrow. Scarecrow gets arrested and back. Okay, so we're here. Scarecrow. Scarecrow gets arrested, back and down. And the idea is to pivot. So I'm going to pivot right around my elbow like such. So your shoulder blades are setting this, you're squeezing your shoulder blades, and then I'm pivoting within my rotator cuff around that joint. So a lot of you are going to have difficulty with that, excuse me, due to clavicle issues, AC joint injuries, you name it, from shoulder injuries, from hitting trees, rocks, dirt, and the like. So do make sure, just like I encourage riders when they're practicing, switch front leg that you're working on, because you'll always notice that things are a little different when you switch, going from your non-dominant downhilling side, okay? On that, switch feet halfway and do about 8 to 15 of those, not each. So you do 4 and then switch and do 4, or do 8 and then switch and do 8. Okay, so it's really, 4, 16, whatever. All right, so that's your quad set. You do that if you're a true beginner, 1 set. If you are a big studly woman or man training for a while, then you can do up to 4 sets. So try that little set. That's going to challenge your nervous system to maintain stability in one section of your body while another is working. Just like I described earlier, when it comes to riding, we're doing the same thing. 3D integration is kind of what I call that in its simplest terms. And it's a perfect time of year to start implementing these multiple body movement patterns together. Again, where one is holding so the other can move, and then there's some complication added into the equation in the form of things like single leg, BOSU ball, Swiss ball, for example, external forces coming into play like the cable machine. Those are all great things where the brain really has to process a lot of information, which is exactly what we need as mountain bikers. So there is your nice video tip movement of the week. Give it a try. Of course, if you have any questions along the way, give us an email, info@enduromtbtraining.com. Check out the site, enduromtbtraining.com. Instagram, Facebook, at the same thing. Okay? Hope you guys are doing well. And next time we'll talk about some power moves coming up here in the month of late March. Alrighty? You guys take care. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.